Hi, this is Scott, the editor-in-chief of DigitalCT magazine, welcoming you to our special edition on alternative fueled vehicles and alt fuels in the community and public transit industry. We have an excellent set of feature articles around this edition's theme, and I'll just go through some of those quickly here, but I want you to pay specific attention to the fact that we tried to look for this edition at what's happening in other parts of the world when it comes to alt fuels and the adoption of alt fuel technologies in the public and community transportation business. We have a long feature article on Europe and their adoption of pretty stringent standards and how they intend to meet those standards. There's also, I think, some excellent definitions on what they see as the different types of alt fuels and the challenges and benefits of adopting various types of alt fuel technologies. You'll also see a box story within that piece on China and its idea of 10 cities and 1,000 alt fuel buses, and really dealing with the major clean air issues in urbanizing China, where you now find that they expect by 2030 to have 1 billion people living in urbanized areas, and how they understand that alt fuel buses are going to be one way to make a significant impact on cleaning the air. We also have a kind of laundry list of some of the latest and most unique innovations in alt fuels vehicles. Take a look at that. We provide that both as interesting ideas, but also to give you an idea of not where we are today with alt fuels, but where I hope we are headed and some of the innovations that are coming along that. We got permission to reprint an article out of Public Works magazine that I found very useful because it looked at fleet managers that are managing non-transit fleets, but fleets nonetheless, and what they're looking at and how they assess the various alt fuels. And though it doesn't speak to transit specifically, I think there's a really important overlap there in what needs to be done as we move forward with that. And all of this alt fuels coverage really speaks to, I think, the important connection between alt fuels and really alternative economics in the community and public transportation field. You look at these systems that are adapting these and adopting these types of technologies, and you find some constants that speak to these new economics. You find lower operating costs. You find new sources of local revenues, particularly for capital, new opportunities for coordination among municipal fleets and municipal organizations. You find that now a third of the buses across America's cities are alt fuels. And when you read both the Europe and the Asia stories, you kind of realize that contrary to what some may have you believe, the United States and North America are actually far ahead of many places in the world when it comes to the adoption of alt fuel technology. And I think also when we talk about alternative economics, we're looking at taking advantage of newer and cleaner energy sources and being able to build that into how you talk about transit's role in the community, whether it's CNG or hybrids or electric and battery buses. These can often fundamentally change the image of community and public transportation in communities in a positive way. So in addition to all of the alt fuels coverage we have in this edition of DigitalCT, we also have some other articles I want to point to. One, we have an analysis of the recently produced FTA announcement or advanced proposed rulemaking on its safety regulations. Important to take a look at that. We understand that January 2nd is the deadline for comments, and we think this analysis piece, provides some good basis from which all of our readers can make educated comments and hopefully move the needle on the way these regulations are going to be written in the end, so that they're better for our readers and for the industry. We also have a update on kind of our talking sessions on reauthorization from around the country. We've now held those in 20% of the states, 10 states, and encourage you to take a look at what your colleagues in states across the country are saying about what they must have in reauthorization, what they would like to see in reauthorization, and what would be a perfect world scenario in reauthorization. And I think you'll find some of the responses within those categories interesting. Bob Carlson here on CTA staff provides an update on some soon to come and currently underway changes in our community development transportation lending services program here, where we are coming up with new ways to bring capital and to bring the financing mechanisms you need directly to you. Take a look at that article and understand there's a lot more to come on this subject in future months, and we're really excited about it. Last edition, we did a big interview piece on social enterprise, which also speaks to some new and locally based ways to finance community and public transit. And we were really pleased that we got an excellent article back on somebody who had really adopted the social enterprise model into a program in Tennessee called Tennessee Vans. It's a great article, and I encourage all the readers to take a look at that. And lastly, in case you haven't seen, CTA has announced a new partnership with New Tech Business Group on insurance and all sorts of insurance products, and kind of reconstituting CTA's insurance store. And we have a Q&A, kind of the CTA interview is with New Tech that further discusses that. So as always, there's a lot to entertain you and a lot to educate you, and there's a lot of great resources in this edition of Digital CT. And you can always share your comments and suggestions with me directly. I can be reached at Bogren, B-O-G-R-E-N, at ctaa.org. I'm regularly on Twitter. My Twitter handle is CTMag, M-A-G-1, altogether. That's my Twitter handle. Please follow me for the latest information on public and community transportation. And thanks as always for being a reader of Digital CT Magazine. We certainly do appreciate you taking the time to read and use the resources we put together. So thanks to all of you.